Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, my fellow poets. This video only popped up a couple of hours ago and I'm already getting to work. That's how much I love you guys. Anywho, in this video I'm going to be going through the ridiculous argument that the Prophet, peace be upon him, plagiarized Imr al-Qais, one of the most famous, actually the most famous Arab poet of all time, and nobody noticed. Not only that, but the poetry he plagiarized was so good that he was accepted as a prophet, became the ruler of Arabia, and everyone converted to his religion. Yes, this is the argument that Ishmael makes. Now, you know what this reminds me of? That movie, Yesterday. The idea is pretty much the same. Jack Malik rips off songs by the Beatles. Nobody notices, since apparently the whole world suffered from some sort of partial amnesia due to a worldwide power outage, and he becomes the biggest pop sensation of all time. Yes, this is the argument that Ishmael is making, and he wants you to believe that Yesterday, the movie, actually happened. So let's just get on to the video.
I expose the plagiarism of the Quran. In part 1, I reviewed a poem in William Tisdale's book, The Original Sources of the Quran, and showed you evidence that Muhammad's Quran has plagiarized lines of poetry from the pre-Islamic poet Imr al-Qais. Muslims, of course, deny the charge Muhammad plagiarized from pre-Islamic poetry.
Wait, so only Muslims deny this charge?
Muslims say Tisdale changed his opinion and ended up agreeing with his expert colleague that the poem attributed to Imr al-Qais was inauthentic. Well, that's true.
Tisdale, your source, denies the charge that the Prophet, peace be upon him, plagiarized this. Charles Lyell, an expert in the field, also denies the charge. Neither of them are Muslims. Ishmael's own source refutes him, but he lacks the objectivity to accept that he is wrong with his charge. By the way, is anyone wondering how the Prophet, peace be upon him, was able to allegedly plagiarize the biggest Arab poet of all time and get away with it? Well, Ishmael answers.
Muhammad stole from the lesser-known poems, not the more famous ones, and this could explain why it was unnoticed by others.
Priceless. That's like someone plagiarizing Librarian Girl from Michael Jackson, and nobody noticed because it's not as famous as Smooth Criminal. In any case, this theory makes absolutely no sense. I think this would be a good time to point out that none of the classical scholars of literature attributed this poem to Imr al-Qais. Even scholars that spoke against falsely attributed poems to him didn't mention this poem. Any guesses why? Well, it's because this poem never existed. Well, up until recently, of course.
This shows that in the early 20th century, the poem had been found both in Iran and Bahrain.
MashaAllah. Irrefutable proof right there. Okay, wait. It gets even better.
I believe Tisdale was wrong in his final conclusion.
Nobody cares what you believe.
Because he did not take into account the fact that Imr al-Qais had a serious drinking problem, and the reason why he could produce some low-quality poetry was because he was under the influence of alcohol.
Okay, wait. So, this is bad poetry? Let me get this straight. The Prophet, peace be upon him, ripped off bad poetry from Imr al-Qais. Nobody noticed since there was some sort of worldwide power outage and everyone had some sort of partial amnesia, and yet everyone converted to Islam and he was made the leader of Arabia? Is that right, Ishmael? Okay, I'm done. Ishmael, please, stop making bad videos. Yallah habibi, take care. What the hell was this, man? What the hell? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.